Flames burst across a stranger's hand as watched in eerie calm, while the man screamed for help and begged someone to bring a fire extinguisher. A worried man in white demanded to know what had done and how another man's hand could suddenly catch fire. Insisted the punishment was necessary for his family's sake, but promised to cover the man's medical expenses. With steady confidence, told him that as long as he was a good doctor, nothing would go wrong. Forced a nervous smile, reluctantly agreeing with the harsh criticism of the director's greed and arrogance. Asked whether his family could continue treatment now that he had brought $310,000, and the doctor assured him they would receive the best care. The doctor glanced aside and said he had only done what any doctor should, though the child's rapid recovery and self-healing still amazed him. A young woman with long hair trembled in her chair and apologized to her brother, blaming herself for failing to protect their parents. Rested a comforting hand on her head, telling her not to blame herself and admitting his own lateness was the real fault. A silver-haired girl worried about missing the dungeon competition, while a boy explained that the prize could change their family's future. Fireworks lit the sky above the college as the announcer said rumors about this year's dungeon competition bonus had already spread through the students. The man on stage declared that the starting bonus was $500,000, made possible by group sponsorship. Uniformed boys crowded together, whispering that group's daughter looked so dazzling she made their hearts race. An authoritative elder announced that the champion would earn a place on the top-ranked Mo attack team, sending the crowd into an uproar. One student remarked on how fierce the major team's competition had become, while another said the eldest lady's plans had nothing to do with him. Reminded himself that his only goal was the bonus. A 3D hologram of the Shadow Forest dungeon flickered to life as the announcer revealed the challenge, throwing the students into panic. Told the others he knew the identity of the dungeon's final boss. A hulking, glowing shadow dryad towered over a rocky cliff, casting a menacing shadow across the lone figure beneath the full moon. Coolly challenged the other side, asking whether they really had not sent him the money. A man with white and black hair faced the crowd and assured the students that teams of up to 5 could enter because of the dungeon's difficulty. The uniformed students pumped their fists, agreeing they could team up and defeat the Shadow Dryad together. Warned the group to watch for sneak attacks from other teams now that PvP mode was active. Wondered whether forming a team for the double mode dungeon could improve their combat training and survival odds. A group of formally dressed young men faced the principal, with one asking how victory would work if they formed teams. A confident man stood over the glowing map and explained that points for defeating the Shadow Dryad would be split equally among the attackers. The stern older man lined in and warned that defeating other teams in the PvP area would let the winners take their opponents' points. An angry red-haired man shouted that the rules were clearly designed to make everyone fight each other. Electricity surged through the air as the official announced that the competition had officially begun. A hopeful dark-haired student called out that a level 5 swordsman was looking for teammates and seniors were welcome to join. Uniformed boys mocked the downtrodden student as useless, warning each other to stay away from him. One laughing student told they would never team up with him, saying it was easier to move alone than carry dead weight. Raised his hand and told the teacher he wanted to sign up. A confident woman with glasses challenged the group for supporting, while Luo insulted him and a large man laughed at the scene. An aggressive young man pointed at the so-called waist and told his brother to let him handle it. A confident man with earrings grabbed his shoulder and told everyone that should bark if he wanted respect. The aggressive man seized by the collar and demanded to hear how a dog barks. A furious blonde man lunged at, shouting that he would kill him for daring to challenge him. A determined woman stepped between the blonde man and insisting the real fight should happen in the dungeon, not there. The aggressive man glared after and warned that he would be waiting for his head inside the dungeon. Asked why the word escape was not in his dictionary, while the girl with glasses urgently told him not to say that. A confident female teacher held out a registration card and told she admired his courage, though strength was what truly mattered. Crackling energy surged as strode forward, and someone announced that he had opened his first dungeon and gained 2,000 experience points. Turned away cautiously as two masked guards and a confident woman in red appeared silently behind him. The woman in red studied with interest, saying she wanted to see what else he had besides courage. One masked man scoffed that a level 3 warrior could not handle this dungeon, while the other suggested they simply watch what happened. A digital interface flickered to life, announcing the new location, Dungeon Shadow Forest, level 5 to 10. Thick smoke curled through the dark forest, swallowing every shape in shifting gray. Burst from a glowing portal and sprinted through the forest, saying his random starting point would help him clear monsters quickly. Explosions tore through the trees as fire and debris erupted, while a distant voice counted points again and again. Fire surged as blasted the spider creatures backward, and a distant voice announced another round of points earned. Calculated that hunting high-level monsters was the only way to win, since the mobs were taking longer than expected. Watched the spiders vanish into the darkness and quietly wondered where they were all heading. Sprinted through the shadowy forest, urging himself to catch up and learn where the spiders were going. He hurried deeper into the forest, admitting he had not meant to stray so far into the woods. Stared ahead in shock, barely able to whisper that he recognized what he was seeing. A young woman in purple struggled against the glowing red web, her therapist level flickering above her trapped body. The long-haired woman thrashed wildly, remembering how the spider monster captured her and desperately begging for help. Suddenly, the blue-eyed young woman gasped, shaken by something unexpected just beyond view. Warned the trapped woman to stay silent if she wanted to survive, while she stammered in shock after recognizing him. Crouched above the tangled web and told her not to shout if she wanted his help. Ordered the trapped woman to stop talking and wait quietly, insisting she could never cut through elite spider silk alone. Orange flames erupted from his hands as he wondered whether his opponent was only a level 8 elite. The girl in purple gasped in disbelief, realizing someone had set the spider silk ablaze and she might finally be saved. Flames spiraled around as he urged her to leave the danger and regroup with her team. A corrosive substance burned through his shoulder, and he shouted in shock, demanding to know what was happening. And the frightened girl froze as a gigantic red spider glared down at them, its eyes burning fiercely. Grabbed the distressed girl and ran as she shouted that the liquid splashing behind them was poisonous. A sticky web snapped up and the frightened girl, and he shouted in disbelief, asking when the trap had appeared beneath them. Struggled against the woman's tight hold, realizing he had been careless and that the situation was turning dangerous. Red bindings snapped tight around, and the anxious girl as they writhed in midair, her cries strained with fear. Held the terrified girl steady, warning her not to move as she panicked about being eaten by the giant spider. Cursed his lack of combat experience and admitted he did not want to die trapped like this. The giant spider crept closer while the girl, still tangled in red webbing, desperately tried to pull free. A young woman with a high ponytail teased them from off-panel, asking whether they found her group unappealing after being rescued. Warned the frightened girl that the Red Widow would return to lay eggs, and she cried out that she did not want that fate. Suddenly, the distressed woman in purple was grabbed, and she shouted for someone not to do it. Injured but focused, struggled against the red ribbons and worried that using his power might hurt the woman beside him. Leaned in close as the surprised woman demanded to know what he thought he was doing and why he was acting like this now. Bit down on the red cloth binding them and warned the cautious girl not to move if she wanted to survive. Bit through the sticky spider silk, while the worried girl noted that the strands were not poisonous and had not hardened yet. Kept biting through the red ribbon as the embarrassed woman protested that he could barely remove it with his mouth. Still trapped, told the anxious girl they had to work together before the spider silk hardened or they would lose their chance to escape. Wondered what was causing the strange atmosphere as he and the crown girl remained tightly bound by red ropes. Frustrated, yelled at the small fox-eared girl while she apologized and insisted he had misunderstood the noise she was making. Braced himself on the grass while the tense girl pressed her hand firmly against the ground. The fox-eared girl begged to get up and run, but admitted her legs were too weak to move. Stood alert in the dark forest, realizing the Red Widow had returned. Stepped forward and told the worried girl to find her own team, while she protested that he needed to think about his own safety. A cautious woman seized Sleeve and urged him to escape, warning that he was no match for an elite opponent at this level. Declared that he refused to be anyone's prey and insisted he had a greater purpose. Raised a flaming hand and said he needed to vent his frustration through hunting, startling the girl in the shadowy forest. The monstrous red and black spider known as Red Widow lunged at, and the anxious woman, who cried out that it was catching up. With fiery energy crackling in his hand, warned the unseen group not to interfere with what he was about to do. Summoned a blazing sword and faced the Red Widow as the worried healer insisted she could stay and help him fight. Swung his flaming weapon at the demon spider and shouted that he had no interest in hearing prey beg for mercy. A massive fiery explosion tore through the canyon and blocked it with his arm, stunned by the force behind the attack. Flames flickered around as the surprised girl exclaimed that he had defeated an elite beast and must be hiding his true strength. The light-haired girl wondered why she was receiving points when she had not helped at all. Girls crowded around, eagerly asking how he had hidden his level and whether he was truly a level 3 genius. The desperate woman clung to, demanding all the spoils and insisting she would regret saving him if he disappeared. Studied the massive sword embedded in the earth and quietly wondered what it was. Held the Red Widow's fang as the worried woman called him evil, and another wished him luck, noting its high value on the black market. Stared at the jagged red dagger and wondered whether dropped items could really be upgraded like this. Remembered the ring released earlier by the Ghost Eye Demon Spider. Gazed at the glowing ring and wondered whether it could still trigger the random level increase effect. The girl teased, saying he should use the ring himself instead of showing it off, while privately wondering how strong he really was. Warned her not to ask questions, saying he had his reasons and demanding that she keep his secret if she wanted to follow him. Warned the listener that they already knew exactly how things would turn out. A young woman with wide eyes gasped, unable to hide her shock. A hostile figure stepped from the shadows, threatening, and while demanding to know how she survived the Red Widow. Lee, the confrontational team leader, mocked his rival and said only he decided who could return to the team. A furious woman pointed straight at the group, demanding to know how they could use her as bait and then mock her dreams. A man with a red headband taunted the magic girl, while his green-haired ally urgently told Brother Lei that the Red Widow seemed to be dead. An alarmed man shouted that something was being burned and roasted, while stared in shock at the fiery figure on the ground. The green-haired man blurted out that Lao was ready to return and kill now that the Red Widow was dead. The three men burst into mocking laughter, sneering that and made a perfect pair of fools, while she shouted for them to stop insulting the great god. Stayed silent, his calm gaze making the mocking trio feel the first chill of doubt. If you'd like to see your favorite titles retold, leave a comment and I'll be sure to pick some of them up from time to time. Also, let me know which video format you like more, long videos or short ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon.